She was scandalizing my name. She took my money. She called me honey. But she was scandalizing my name. Called it love. But she was playing a game. Yeah.
Hey, put Sam, I'm getting it. The quick step. Now look and tell me.
Yeah.
Well,
Come on, show me again.
okay. Count for me.
Okay, are you ready?
Ready.
5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Your shoulders, Willie. 1, 2, 3, 4, and don't look down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look happy, Willie. 1, no, relax.
I'm relaxed.
No, you're not, Willie.
You mustn't talk. You make me make mistakes.
Well, you're too stiff, Willie.
Yesterday I'm not straight. Today I'm too stiff.
Well, you're asking me, so I'm telling you.
Where?
Everywhere, Willie. Too stiff, Willie. Try and glide through it, eh?
Glide?
Make it look smooth. Give it more style. It must look like you're enjoying yourself, Willie.
Well, I wasn't.
Exactly.
How can I enjoy myself? Not straight, too stiff. Now it's also glide. Make it smooth. Give it more style. I put Sam. It's hard to remember all those things.
That's your trouble. You are trying too hard.
I try hard because it's hard.
Yeah, but don't let me see it. The secret is to make it look easy. Ballroom must look happy, not like hard work. It must look like romance.
Now another one. What's romance?
Love story with a happy ending. A handsome man in tails, in his arms, smiling at him. A beautiful lady in evening dress.
Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers.
You've got it. Ballroom or tap dance is the same. Romance. In 2 weeks' time, when the judges look at you and Hilda, they must see a man and a woman dancing their way to a happy ending. What I saw was you were holding her like you was afraid she was running away. Eh?
Yeah, because that's what she wants to do, but Sam. I got no romance left for Hilda anymore.
No, then pretend, Willie. When you put your arms around Hilda, imagine she's Ginger Rogers.
With no teeth, you try.
Yeah, just remember there's only 2 weeks left, eh?
I know, but Sam, I do it better with music. You got sixpence for Saravon?
No, that's the slow foxtrot, Willie. You're practicing the quick step, Willie.
I'll practice the slow foxtrot.
It's your turn to put the money in the jukebox.
I only got bus fare to go home, but Sam, I'm not walking 19 miles to New Brighton in this rain. Ginger Rogers. Shit. Love story, happy endings. She's doing that all right, good Sam, but it's not me she's giving happy endings. Fucking whore. 3 nights now she doesn't come practice. I wind up gramophone, get record ready. I sit and I wait. And what happens? Nothing. 10 o'clock I start dancing with my pillow. You try and practice romance by yourself, good Sam. Stru's gone. She doesn't come tonight. I take back my dress, my ballroom shoes, and I find me a new partner. Size 26, shoe size 7. And now she's making trouble for me with the baby again. Reports me to child welfare that I'm not giving her money. She lies, man. Every week I'm giving her money for milk. And how I know is my baby. Only his hair look like me. She's fucking around all the time I turn my back. Hilda Samuels is a bitch. But Sam.
Yeah?
You listening?
Yeah.
So what you say?
About Hilda?
Yeah.
When last did you give her hiding?
Sunday night.
And today is Thursday.
Okay.
Hiding on Sunday, then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, she doesn't come to practice, and you're asking me why?
I said, okay, but Sam.
You hit her too much. One day she's going to leave you for good.
So she makes me the hell in too much.
Yeah, too much and too hard. You know, you had the same problem with Eunice.
She make me the hell in too, but Sam. She never got the steps right, even the waltz.
Willie, beating her up every time she makes a mistake in the waltz? No, Willie, that takes the pleasure out of ballroom dancing.
Hilda's not too bad with the waltz, but Sam. It's the quick step when the trouble starts.
How's your pillow with the quick step?
Good. And you know why? Because it's got no legs. That's the trouble with them. She can't move them quick enough. I start record.
Yeah?
Before halfway, compass is already winning. The only time we catch up with him is when the gramophone runs slow. I corner put them. It's not funny.
Hey, I've got it. Give her a handicap.
What's that?
Give her a 10-second start, then let Count Basie go. Then I'll put my money on her. Hot favorite in the ballroom stakes. Hilda Samuels, written by Willie.
Sucker, I'm not talking to you anymore. It's finished between us, and you can also fuck off.
Come on. Listen, Willie. I'm trying to help you.
No more jokes?
I promise.
Help me.
Look and learn. Feet together, back straight, body relaxed, right hand gently placed in the small of her back. Wait for the music. Don't start worrying about making mistakes or the judges or the other competitors. It's just you, Hilda, and the music, and you're going to have a good time, eh? What kind of bass do you play?
You're the cream in my coffee. You're the salt in my stew.
Good. Give it to me in strict tempo.
Ready?
Ready.
And you're the cream in my coffee. You're the salt in my stew. You will always be my necessity. I'll be lost without you. You're the starch in my cola. You're the lake in my stew. You will always be my necessity. I'll be lost without you.
No question about it. First place goes to Mr. Sam Samela.
You was gliding with style.
How's it, chaps?
Okay, Hallie.
Oh, at your service, Master Harold.
Not long to the big event, eh?
2 weeks.
You nervous?
No.
Think you stand a chance?
Well, let's just say I'm ready to go out there and dance.
Look like it. What about you, Willie?
Oh.
What's the matter?
He's got leg trouble.
I'm sorry to hear that, Willie.
But Sam, you promised.
Okay, sorry, Willie.
God, what a lousy bloody day. Raining cats and dogs out there, chaps. Bad for business. But it also means we're in for a nice, quiet afternoon.
You can speak loud. Your mom's not here.
Out shopping?
Nope. They're hospital.
But it's Thursday. There's no visiting on Thursday afternoons. Is my dad okay?
Yep. In fact, I think he's going home.
What do you mean?
Well, the hospital phone.
To say what?
I don't know. I just heard your mom talking.
So what makes you say he's coming home?
Well, it sounded as if they were telling her to come and fetch him.
When did she leave?
Oh, about an hour ago. She said she'd phone you. You want to eat? Ellie, you want your lunch?
Yes, I suppose so. What's on the menu, as if I didn't know?
Soup, followed by meat pie and gravy.
Today's?
Nope.
And the soup?
Nourishing pea soup.
Just the soup. And these?
For your dad, Mr. Kempston, brother.
You haven't been reading them, have you?
No, just looking.
Jungle Jim. Tarzan. Batman and Robin. God, what rubbish. Mental pollution. Take them away. Willie, you didn't hear my mom talking on the telephone?
No, Master Holly. I was at the back.
And she didn't say anything to you before she left?
Oh, she said I must clean the floors.
I mean about my dad.
No, Master Holly, she didn't say nothing to me about him.
No, it can't be. They said he needed at least another 3 weeks of treatment. Sam's definitely made a mistake. So, Willie.
Yes, Master Holly? Schooling okay today?
Yes, okay. Nah, not really. But I don't care. What's the difference? Sam says you've got problems.
Oh, big problems, Master Holly.
Which leg is sore?
Well,
Both legs.
there is nothing wrong with my legs. Sam just making jokes.
Then you will be in the competition.
If only I find me new partner.
What about Hilda?
She's the one that's got trouble with her legs.
What sort of trouble, Willie?
The way he was describing it, it sounded as if the lady has gone a bit lame.
Good God, have you taken her to see a doctor?
I think a vet would be better.
What do you mean?
How do you call it again when a racehorse goes very fast?
Gallop.
But Sam,
Gallop down the home stretch to the winning post. What's that got to do with Hilda?
Count Basie always gets there first.
Damn it, Willie! What the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm sorry, Master Holly, but it's
You're
him.
your bloody age! Get back to work, cut out the nonsense now! You too, Sam, stop fooling around! Hang on, I haven't finished. Tell me exactly what my mom said.
I have. When Hallie comes, tell him I've gone to the hospital and I'll phone him.
She didn't say anything about taking my dad home.
No, it's just that when she was talking on the phone...
No, Sam, they can't be discharging him. She would have said so if they were. Besides, we saw him last night and he didn't look in good shape at all. Staff nurse even said there was talk of taking more x-rays. Now today, suddenly he's better? Anything, it sounds more like a bad turn to me. Which I sincerely hope it isn't. Hang on, how long ago did you say she left?
Just about an hour and a half.
I know how to settle it. Give her 10 minutes to get to the hospital, another 10 to load him up, 10 at most to get back home, 10 minutes to get him inside. That's 40 minutes. Should have been home at least a half an hour already. No reply, chaps. And you know why? Because she's at hospital, at his bedside, helping him pull through a bad turn. You definitely heard wrong.
All right. Modern graded mathematics for standards 9 and 10. Introduction. In some mathematical problems, only the magnitude. What's that mean?
How big it is, the size of the thing.
Magnitude of the quantities is of importance. In other problems, we need to know whether these quantities are negative or positive. For example, whether there is a debit or a credit bank balance.
Whether you're broke or not.
Whether the temperature is above or below 0.
Not degrees. Cheerful state of affairs. No cash and you're freezing to death. Mathematics won't help you out of that one.
And all these quantities are called scalars. You understand all that?
No, and I don't intend to try.
What happens when the exam comes?
Failing a math exam is not the end of the world, Sam. How many times have I told you that examination results don't measure intelligence?
I would say as many times as you have failed one of them.
And just remember, Winston Churchill didn't do particularly well at school.
You've also told us that one many times, eh?
It just so happens to be the truth.
And history?
So-so. I'll scrape through. In the 50s, if I'm lucky.
No. You didn't do too badly last year.
Because we had World War I. That at least had some action. You try and find that in the South African parliamentary system.
Napoleon and the principle of equality. Hey, this sounds interesting, eh? After concluding peace with Britain in 1802, Napoleon used a brief period of calm to institute...
It means introduce.
Many reforms. Napoleon regarded all people as equal before the law and wanted them to have equal opportunities for advancement. All vestiges of the feudal system with its oppression of the poor were abolished. Vestiges, feudal system, abolished. I'm all right on the passion, eh?
I'm thinking. He swept away, abolished,
Uh-huh.
the last remains, vestiges,
Yeah?
of the bad old days, feudal system.
Aha! There's a social reformer we've been waiting for, eh? He sounds like a man of some magnitude.
Well, I'm not so sure about that. Damn good title for a book, though. A Man of Magnitude.
Well, he sounds pretty big to me, Hallie.
Don't confuse historical significance with greatness. But maybe I'm being a bit prejudiced. Have a look in there, Sam, and you'll find he's 2 chapters long. And hell, has he ever got dates? All of which you've got to remember. This campaign and that campaign. And then because of all the fighting, next thing we get is peace treaties all over the place. What's the end of the story? Battle of Waterloo, which he loses. It wasn't worth it. No, I'm not so sure about him as a man of magnitude.
Then who would you say was?
To answer that, we need a definition of greatness. And I suppose that would be somebody who benefited all mankind.
Right, but like who?
Charles Darwin. Remember him? Great big book from the library? Origin of the Species.
What, him?
Yes, for his theory of evolution.
No. You didn't finish that, Hallie.
I didn't finish it because I ran out of time. My 2 weeks was up. But I'm going to take it out again as soon as I've digested what I've read. It's safe. I've hidden it away in the theology section. Nobody ever goes in there. Besides, who are you to talk? You hardly even looked at it.
Well, I tried. I looked at the chapters in the beginning, and I saw one called A Struggle for an Existence. Aha! I thought, at last, eh? Oh, but what did I get? Something called the mistletoe, which needs the apple tree, and has got too many seeds, and all are going to die except for one. No, Hallie.
What do you mean, no? The poor man had to start somewhere. For God's sakes, he revolutionized science. Now we know.
What?
Where we come from, what it all means.
And that's a benefit to mankind? Anyway, I don't believe it.
It's the likes of you that kept the Inquisition in business. It's called bigotry. Anyway, that's my man of magnitude, Charles Darwin. Who's yours?
Abraham Lincoln.
I might have guessed as much. Don't get sentimental, Sam. You've never been a slave, you know. Anyway, we freed your ancestors here in South Africa long before the Americans did. Come on, try again. I want a real genius.
William Shakespeare.
Oh, so you're also one of those, are you? You're basing that opinion on only one play, you know. You've only read My Julius Caesar, and even I didn't understand half of what they were talking about. They should do what they did with the old Bible, bring the language up to date.
That's all you've got. It's also the only one you've read.
I know. That's why I'm suggesting that we reserve our judgment until we've had a chance to look at a few others. I've got a feeling, though, that by the end of this year, one will be enough for me. And I can give you the names of 29 other chaps in the Standard 9 class of the Port Elizabeth Technical College who feel the same way. But if you want him, you can have him. My turn now. This is a damned good exercise, you know. It started off like a simple question, and now it's got us really probing into the intellectual heritage of our civilization.
So who is it going to be?
My next man, and he gets the title on 2 scores, social reform and literary genius, is Leo Nikolaevich Tolstoy.
That Russian.
Correct. Do you remember that picture I showed you of him?
With the long beard, eh?
Yes, and those burning visionary eyes. My God, the face of a social prophet if I ever saw one. Do you remember my words when I showed you his picture? Here's a man, Sam.
Those were words, Hallie.
Yes. Not many intellectuals are prepared to shovel manure with the peasants and go home and write a little book called War and Peace. Incidentally, Sam, he was somebody else who, to quote, did not distinguish himself scholastically.
Meaning?
He was also no good at school.
Like you and Winston Churchill.
Ha, ha, ha. Don't get clever, Sam. That man freed his serfs of his own free will.
Yeah, he was a somebody, all right. No arguments. I'll accept him.
I'm sure Count Tolstoy will be very pleased to hear that. It's your turn. Come on, shoot. I'm waiting, Sam.
Ah, I've got him.
Submit your candidate for examination.
Jesus.
Who?
Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Oh, come on, Sam.
No, the Messiah.
Yeah, but still. No, Sam, don't let's get started on religion again. We'll just spend the whole afternoon arguing. Suppose I were to turn around and say Mohammed.
All right.
You can't have them both in the same list.
Why not? You like Muhammad, I like Jesus.
No, I don't like Mohammed. I was merely being hypothetical. As far as I'm concerned, the Quran is as bad as the Bible. No, Sam, religion is out. I don't want to waste my time arguing with you about the existence of God. At any rate, you know I'm an atheist, and I've got homework to do.
All right, I'll take him back.
You've got time for one more name.
I've got one I know we'll both agree on. And he's a simple, straightforward, great man of magnitude. No arguments. And he really did benefit all mankind.
I wonder. After your last contribution, I'm beginning to doubt whether anything in the way of an intellectual agreement is possible between us. Who is he?
Guess.
Socrates.
No.
Alexandre Dumas.
No.
Karl Marx.
No.
Nietzsche.
No.
Dostoevsky.
No.
Give me a clue.
The letter P is important.
Plato.
His name begins with an F.
I've got it. Freudian psychology.
No, I didn't understand him.
That makes two of us.
Think of a moldy apricot jam.
Penicillin and Sir Alexander Fleming. Hey, and the title of the book?
The Microbe Hunters.
Splendid, Sam, splendid. For once, we're in total agreement. The major breakthrough in medical science of the 20th century. If it hadn't been for him, we might have lost the Second World War. It is deeply gratifying, Sam, to know that I haven't been wasting my time talking to you. Tolstoy may have educated his peasants, but I've educated you.
Standard 4 to Standard 9.
Have we been at it as long as that?
Yep. My first lesson was geography.
Really? I don't remember.
My room, there at the back of the old Jubilee boarding house. I had just started working for your mom. A little boy in short trousers walks in one afternoon and asks me seriously, Sam, would you like to see South Africa? Hey, sure, I'd like to see South Africa.
Was that me?
And the next thing I know, I'm looking at a map you just done for homework. It was your first one, and you were proud of yourself, eh?
Go on.
Then came my first lesson. Repeat after me, Sam. Gold in the Transvaal, maize in the Free State, sugar in Natal, grapes in the Cape. I still know it, eh?
You've got a phenomenal memory.
Oh, you should be grateful. That's why you started passing your exams, eh? You try to be better than me.
The old Jubilee boarding house. 16 rooms, board and lodging, rent in advance, and 1 week's notice. I haven't thought about that in donkey's years. And I don't think that's an accident. God, was I glad when we sold that place and moved out. Those years are not remembered as the happiest of an unhappy childhood.
Holly, are you there?
Who's that supposed to be?
What you doing in there, Holly? Come out at once.
What's he doing?
Sam, Willie, is he in there with you boys?
Remember hiding away in our room when your mother was looking for you?
Yes, of course. I used to crawl in and hide under your bed. But finish the story, really, then what used to happen? You two chaps would give the game away by telling her I was in there with you. So much for friendship.
Well, we couldn't lie to her. She knew.
Which meant I got another rowing for hanging around the servants' quarters. God, I think I spent more time in there with you chaps than anywhere else in that dump. Do you blame me? Nothing but bloody misery wherever you went. Either somebody was complaining about the cooking, or my mom was having a fight with Mickey Nash because she'd caught her with a petty officer in her room. Maud Mayring was another one. Do you remember those two? They were prostitutes, you know. Soldiers and sailors from the troop ships. Bottom fell out of the business when the war ended. God, the flotsam and jetsam that life washed up on our shores. No joking, chaps. If it hadn't been for your room, I think I would have been the first certified 10-year-old in medical history. Yeah, the memories are coming back now. Down the corridor, telephone on my right, which my mom keeps locked because somebody is using it on the sly and not paying. past the kitchen, unappetizing cooking smells, round the corner, into the backyard, hold my breath again because there are more unpleasant smells coming from the old lavatory, into the teeny passageway, first door on my right, into your room. How's that?
Good. But as usual, you forgot to knock.
Like that time I barged in and caught you and Cynthia at it. Remember? God, was I embarrassed. I didn't know what was going on at first.
Yeah, that taught you a lesson, eh?
And about a lot more than knocking on doors, I'll have you know. And I don't mean geography either. Hell, Sam, couldn't you have waited until dark?
Nope.
Was it that urgent?
Yep, and if you don't believe me, wait until your time comes.
Oh, no, thank you. I'm not interested in girls. Grey little room with a cold cement floor. Your bed is against that wall. Now I know why the mattress sags so much.
Yeah.
Willie's bed is propped up on bricks because one of the legs is broken. Wobbly little table with a jug of water and a wash basin. Yes, and stuck to the wall above it are some peanut pictures from magazines. Joe Louis.
Brown Bomber. World title. 3 rounds. Knockout.
Against who?
Max Schmeling.
Correct. So much for the stage directions, now the characters. Willie is in his bed, and he's got his clothes on, but he's under his blankets. He's complaining non-stop about something, but we can't make out a word he's saying because he's got his head under the blankets as well. Sam, you're in your bed, trimming your toenails with a knife. Not a very edifying sight. And as for me, what am I doing?
You are sitting on the floor giving Willie a lecture about being a good loser whilst you get the checkerboard and the pieces ready for the game.
Really?
Then you go to Willie's bed, pull off the blankets and make him play with you first because you know you're going to win, and that gives you the second game with me.
And you certainly were a bad loser, Willie.
Oi.
So slow. A game with you practically took up the whole afternoon. Good thing I gave up trying to teach you how to play chess.
You and Sam cheated.
There were occasions when Sam and I would deliberately let you win so that you'd stop sulking and go on playing with us.
Then you two didn't play fair.
It was for your benefit, Mr. Malapo. It was more than being fair. It was an act of self-sacrifice. Well, you know what my best memory is, don't you?
No.
Come on, guess, Sam. Your memory's so good.
Well, we got into a lot of tricks in there, Hallie.
This one was special, Sam.
All right. I'm listening.
It started off looking like another one of those useless, nothing-to-do afternoons. I'd already been down Main Street looking for adventure, but nothing had happened. I didn't feel like climbing trees in the Duncan Park, or pretending I was a private eye and following a stranger. So, as usual, see what's cooking in Sam's room. This time it was you on the floor, and you had 2 sticks of wood, and you were smoothing them down with a knife. It didn't look particularly interesting, but when I asked you what you were doing, you just said, "Wait and see, Hallie. Wait and see." In that mysterious sort of way of yours. So I knew there was a surprise coming. You teased me, you bugger, by being deliberately slow and not answering my questions. And whistling while you worked away. God, it was infuriating. I could have brained you. It wasn't until you tied the 2 sticks together in a cross and put them down on brown paper that I realized what you were doing. Sam is making a kite? And I asked you, and you said yes. The sheer audacity of it took my breath away. I mean, seriously, what does a black man know about flying a kite? I'll be honest with you, I had no hopes for it. If you think I was happy and excited, you've got another guess coming. In fact, I was shit scared we were going to make fools of ourselves. When we left the boarding house, I was praying to myself that there wouldn't be other kids around to laugh at us.
Yeah, I could see that.
I made it obvious, did I?
Oh, yeah, you refused to carry it, eh?
Do you blame me? Can you remember what the poor thing looked like? Tomato box wood, brown paper, flour and water for glue, 2 of my mom's old stockings for a tail. Then all those bits and pieces of string you had me tie together so that we could fly it. Hell no, Sam. That now was only asking for a miracle to happen.
And then the big argument when I told you to hold the string and run with it when I let go, eh?
I was prepared to run all right, straight back to the boarding house.
And so what happened?
Ah, come on, Sam. You know it as well as I do.
No, come on. I'd like to hear it from you.
You went a little ways down the hill from me.
Uh-huh.
You held it up, ready to let it go. This is it, I thought. Like everything else in my life, here comes another fiasco. And then you said, go, Hallie. So I started to run. I don't know how to describe it, Sam. Yeah, the miracle happened. I was running along, waiting for it to crash to the ground, when suddenly I felt something alive behind me, tugging at the string as if it wanted to be free. I turned around and looked. I still can't believe my eyes. It was flying, looping around and trying to climb even higher. Then you called out, give it more string, Hallie. So I did, until there was none left, and I was just holding that stick that we had tied it to. You joined me then, you were laughing.
So were you, eh? And shouting, it works, Sam! We've done it, Sam!
And we had. I was so proud of us. It was the most splendid thing I had ever seen. I wish there were 100 kids around to watch us. And you left me after that, didn't you? You explained to me how to get it down. We tied it to the bench so I could sit and watch it, and you left. I was a little scared having to look after it by myself. I wanted you to stay, you know.
I had work to do, Hallie.
It was sort of sad bringing it down, Sam. And it looked sad again when it was lying there on the ground. Like something that had lost its soul. Just tomato box wood, brown paper, 2 of my mom's old stockings. But hell, I'll never forget that moment when I first saw it up there. Why'd you make me that kite, Sam?
I can't remember.
Truly?
Too long ago, Hallie.
Time for another one, you know?
Why do you say that?
Feels like it. Wouldn't be a good day to fly it, though.
No, you can't fly kites on rainy days.
How old are you, Sam?
25.
Strange, isn't it?
What?
Me and you.
What's strange about it?
Little white boy in short trousers. Black man old enough to be his father flying a kite. It's not every day you see that.
Strange because one is white and the other black?
I don't know. Would have been just as strange, I suppose, if it had been me and my father. Little boy and cripple man. No, there's no chance of me flying a kite without it being strange. It's a good short story in that, The Kite Flyers. Have to change the ending, though. Give it a twist.
Twist?
Yeah. The way it ended with us was much too straightforward. Me sitting on that bench and you going back to work. There's no drama in that.
And me?
You?
Yes, me.
You want to get in the story as well, do you?
Yo.
I've got it. Change the title. Afternoon in Sam's Room. It's on its way to being a novel. Our days at the old Jubilee. Sad in a way they're over. I almost wish we were still in that little room.
Well, we're still together.
That's true. It's just that life seemed the right size in there. Not too big, not too small. Wasn't so hard to work up a bit of courage. It's gotten so bloody complicated since then.
St. George's Park Tea Room. Hello, madam. Yes, madam. He's here. Hallie, your mom.
Where's she phoning from?
Sounds like the hospital. Public telephone.
There, you see? I told you. Hello, Mom. Yes? Yes, no, everything's under control here. How's things with poor old Dad? Has he had a bad turn? What? Oh, God. Yes, Sam told me, but I was sure he'd made a mistake. But look here, Mum, we saw him last night, and he wasn't in good shape at all. How can he get better so quickly? Well, then very obviously you must say no. Be firm with him. You're the boss. You know what it's going to be like if he comes home. Well, then don't blame me when I fail all my exams at the end of the year. Yes. How am I expected to be fresh for school when I spent half the night massaging his gammy leg? So am I. So tell him a white lie. Say Dr. Coley wants more x-rays of his stump. Or bribe him. Tell him we'll bring him double tots of brandy in future. What? We'll order him to get back in bed at once if he's going to behave like a child. Treat him like one. Well, I'm sorry. I'm just trying... I said I'm sorry. Quick, give me a number. I'll call you back. Here we go again. Sorry, Mum. Look here, all it needs is for you to put your foot down. You don't take no for an answer. Yes, and whatever you do, don't discuss it with him. Because I'm afraid you'll give in to him. Yes, Sam gave me lunch. Yes, I ate all of it. No, not a soul, Mom. It's still raining here. But I'm just going to do my homework and then lock up. I'll tell them. Now, look here, Mom. Don't listen to a word he says. And phone me back and let me know what happens. All right. Bye. My mom says that when you're finished with the floors, you must do the windows. Don't misunderstand me, chaps. All I want is for him to get better. And if he was, I'd be the first person to say, bring him home. But he's not. We just can't give him the proper medical care and attention he needs here. What hospitals are there for? Well, don't just stand there. Get on with it. You heard right. My dad wants to come home.
Is he better?
No. How can he be better so quickly when last night he was groaning with pain? This is not the age of miracles, Sam.
Then he should stay in hospital.
Oh, tell me something I don't know. For God's sake, what do you think I was just saying to my mom? All I can say is fuck it all.
I'm sure he'd listen to your mom.
You don't know what she's up against. He's already packed his shaving kit and pajamas, and he's sitting on his bed with his crutches, dressed and ready to go. I know him when he gets in that mood. She tries to argue with him. We've had it. She's no match for him when it comes to a battle of words. You'll tie her up in knots.
I suppose it gets lonely for him in there.
With all the other patients and nurses around? Regular visits from the Salvation Army? Balls. It's far worse for him here at home. I'm in school and my mom's here in the business all day.
He's at least got you at night.
And we've got him. Come on, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Life is just a plain bloody mess. People are fools.
Come on, Hallie.
Yes, they are. They deserve whatever they get.
And don't complain.
Don't try to be clever, Sam. It doesn't suit you. Anybody who thinks there is nothing wrong with this world ought to have his head examined. Just when things are going along all right without fail, someone or something will come along and spoil everything. Somebody ought to write that down as a fundamental law of the universe. Principle of perpetual disappointment. There is a God who created this universe. He should scrap it all and try again.
Come on, Hallie. Hey, what you got for homework, eh?
Bullshit as usual. Write 500 words describing an annual event of cultural or historical significance.
That should be easy enough for you, eh?
It's also plain bloody boring. You know what he wants, don't you? One of the useless old ceremonies. Commemoration of the landing of the 1820 settlers. Or if it's going to be culture, carols by candlelight at Christmas.
That's an impressive sight. Make a good description, Hallie. Imagine all those candles glowing in the dark and the people
It's called
singing.
religious hysteria. Please, Sam, I don't want to talk about it. Just leave me alone and let me get on with it.
Okay.
You heard my mother's orders. You're to help Willie with the windows.
Okay.
Come on, I don't want any more nonsense in here.
Okay.
Come on.
Good. Just a little bit quicker on the turn, eh? Only move into her after she's crossed over. What about this one, eh? Much better. You see what happens when you're relaxed and enjoying yourself, eh? Just remember that in 2 weeks and you'll be okay.
But I haven't got partner with Sam.
Well, maybe Hilda will turn up tonight.
No, I gave her a good hiding.
No. You mean a bad one.
And a good bad one.
Well, then you mustn't complain either. You're now paying the price for losing your temper.
But I also pay £2.10 for entrance fee.
They'll refund you if you withdraw now.
You mean don't dance?
Yep.
Oh, but Sam, I wait too long and I work too hard. You think if I find me new partner, I could be ready in 2 weeks? I ask Madam now for leave and we practice every day.
What, quick step, non-stop, 2 weeks? World record, Willie, but you'll be mad at the end, eh?
Oh, no joke, but Sam.
No, I'm not joking.
So then what?
Find Hilda, tell her you're sorry, and promise not to beat her up again.
No.
Then withdraw. Try again next year.
No.
Well, then I give up.
I can't, but Sam, you can't.
What do you mean I can't? I'm telling you, I give up.
It was you who started me ballroom dancing.
So?
Before that, I used to be happy. It was you and Miriam who bring me to Hilda and says, yes, partner for you.
What are you saying, Willie?
It was you.
Yeah, but me what? To blame?
Yes. And now all you do is make jokes at me. You wait. When Miriam leaves you, it's my turn to laugh. Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, well, she can leave me tonight, eh? I know what to do. May I have the pleasure? Just a fellow with this pillow, and he's dancing like a willow in the autumn breeze.
There you go again, Putsela.
There's the answer to your problems. Judge's announcement in 2 weeks' time. Ladies and gentlemen, the winners in the open section, Mr. Willie Malapo and his pillow.
Moorman Putsem.
Stop it, you two!
Don or you through God, Putsem.
Sam, Willie! How am I supposed to concentrate with the two of you behaving like children?
Now hit him too.
Shut up, Willie.
Started this.
You want another one? Get back to work. You too, Sam. Suppose a customer had walked in, or the park superintendent had seen the two of you behaving like hooligans. That would have been the end of my mother's license, and your jobs. Well, this is the end of it. There will be no more of your ballroom nonsense in here. This is a business establishment, not a bloody New Brighton dancing school. I've been far too lenient with you two. But what really makes me bitter is that I allow you chaps a little freedom in here when business is slow, and what do you do with it? The foxtrot. There is more to life than trotting around on a dance floor, and I thought at least you knew it, Sam.
It's a harmless pleasure, Hallie. It hurts nobody.
It's also a rather simple one, you know?
You reckon so? You ever tried it?
Of course not.
Why don't you? Now.
What do you mean, me dance?
Yep. I'll show you a simple step in the waltz and you try it.
What would that prove?
That it's not as easy as you think.
I didn't say easy, I said simple. As in simple-minded, meaning mentally retarded? You can't exactly say it challenges the intellect.
Well, it does other things.
Such as?
Makes people happy.
So do American cream sodas with ice cream. Come on, Sam. You're not asking me to take ballroom dancing seriously, are you?
Yep.
Well, so much for trying to give you a decent education. I've obviously achieved nothing.
You still haven't told me what's wrong with admiring something that's beautiful and then trying it yourself.
Nothing. But we happen to be talking about a foxtrot and not a thing of beauty.
But that's just what I'm saying. If you were to see two champions doing it, two masters of the art.
I give up. Now it's also art?
Yeah.
There's a limit, Sam. Don't confuse art and entertainment.
What is art then?
What is art? You want a definition?
Yeah, sure. I want a definition.
Philosophers have been trying to do that for centuries. What is art? What is life? Basically, I suppose it's the giving of meaning to matter.
Nothing to do with beautiful?
It goes beyond that. It's giving form to the formless.
Yeah, well, maybe it's not art then. But I still say it's beautiful.
I'm sure the word you mean to use is entertaining.
No, beautiful. And if you want proof, come along with me to the Centenary Hall in New Brighton in 2 weeks' time.
What for? I've seen the two of you prancing around in here often enough.
What? This is not the real thing, Hallie. We're just playing around in here.
I'll use my imagination.
And what do you get?
Bunch of people dancing around on the big floor having a so-called good time.
That all?
Yes, well, basically that's it, surely.
No, it isn't, eh? Your imagination hasn't helped you at all. There's a lot more to it than that. I mean, we are getting ready for the championships, not just another dance. Sure, there's going to be lots of people, okay? And they're going to have a good time. But they'll only be spectators sitting around watching. It's only the competitors out there on the dance floor. Party decorations, fancy lights across the walls, and beautiful ladies in evening dresses, eh?
My mother's got one of those, Sam, and quite frankly, it's an embarrassment every time she wears it.
Your imagination left out the excitement. Oh, yeah, those finalists are not just going to be out there to have a good time. One of those couples is going to be the 1950 Eastern Province champions. And then your imagination left out the music.
Mr. Elijah Glenman Kuzana and his orchestral Jazonio.
The sounds of the big band, Hallie. Trombones, trumpets, tenor sax, and alto sax. And then also, finally, your imagination left out the climax of the evening, when the dancing is finished and the judges have stopped whispering among themselves, and the master of ceremonies collects their scorecards and goes on to the stage to announce the winners.
All right. You make it sound like it's a bit of a due. It's an occasion. Satisfied?
Ah, so you admit it then?
Emotionally, yes. Intellectually, no.
Well, I don't know what you mean by that. All what I'm saying is that it's going to be the event of the year in New Brighton. It's been sold out for 2 weeks already. There's only standing room left. We've got competitors coming in from King Williamstown, Grahamstown, and Paddy.
Tell me a bit more.
Ah, I thought you weren't interested intellectually.
I've got my reasons.
What do you want to know?
Takes place every year?
Yes, but only every third year in New Brighton. Is East London's turn for the championships next year.
Which I suppose makes it an even more significant event.
Oh, now we are getting somewhere. Our occasion is now a significant event.
I wonder
What?
if I could get away with it.
Yeah, but what?
Write 500 words describing an annual event of cultural or historical significance. Would I be stretching poetic license too far if I called your ballroom championships a cultural event?
You mean you...
Could we get 500 words out of it, Sam?
Why, Victor Sylvester has written a whole book on ballroom dancing, eh?
You going to write about it, Master Holly?
Yes, gentlemen, that is precisely what I'm considering doing. Old Doc Bromley, he's my English teacher, is going to argue with me on this. He doesn't like natives, but I will point out to him that in strict anthropological terms, the culture of a primitive black society includes its dancing and singing.
Well, I'm ready.
Me too.
Ha! This will teach the old bugger a lesson. Let's get organized. I think you've given me enough general atmosphere, but to build the tension and suspense, I'll need facts.
Oh, give him facts, Putsem.
What do you want to know?
What do you call the climax? How many finalists?
6 couples.
Right, go on, give me the picture.
Spectators seated all around the hall.
And it's a full house.
Yes, Master Holly, full house.
At the one end of the stage is a Gladman and his orchestral, Jazonians. At the other end is a long table with the 3 judges. The finalists go onto the dance floor and take their positions. And when they're ready and have settled down, the master of ceremonies goes to the microphone. But first, he makes a few jokes to get the people laughing.
Good touch. Creating a relaxed atmosphere that will change to one of tension and drama as the climax is approached.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the great moment that you've all been waiting for this evening, the finals of the 1950 Eastern Province Open Ballroom Dancing Championships. But first, let me introduce the finalists, Mr. and Mrs. Welcome Chabalala from King Williamstown.
Oh, it's when the people clap their hands, whistle, make a lot of noise, Master Holly.
Mr. Mulligan Jigalan and Miss Nomtlem Konyeni from Grahamstown. Mr. and Mrs. Norman Chinga from Port Alfred.
Yayo!
Mr. Fez Bukalan and Miss Dina Plachi from East London. Mr. Welcome to and Miss Mabel Makara from Betty.
Boo! Boo!
And now, from New Brighton, our very own Mr. Willie Molapo and Miss Hilda Samuel.
Relaxed and ready to romance.
The applause dies down when everybody is silent. Gladman lifts up his saxophone and gnaws at the orchestral Jazonians.
Like the jukebox, Putsem.
Ah, no, man, I also only got bus fare, Willie.
Hold it, everybody. What's that? How much is left in the till?
3 shillings. Your mom counted it before she left.
Sorry, Willie. You remember what happened last time we did it? We just have to combine our imaginations and hope for the best. Right, what have we got? Let's see. How are the points scored?
Maximum of 10 points each for individual style, deportment, rhythm, and general appearance.
Must I start?
Hold it a second, Willie. And what about penalties?
For what?
Doing something wrong. Say you stumble or bump into another couple. Did they take off any points? If while you're dancing, you and your partner collide into another couple.
If me and Miriam bumped into you and Hilda,
What'd I say?
Come on, Harry. There are no collisions out there. Nobody stumbles or trips or bumps into each other. That's what that moment is all about. To be one of those finalists on that dance floor is like being in a dream about a world in which accidents don't happen.
Jesus, Sam, that's beautiful.
I'm starting.
Of course it is. That's what I've been trying to say to you all afternoon long. It's beautiful because that's the way we want life to be. But instead, like you said, Harry, we're always bumping into each other. Look at the 3 of us this afternoon. I bumped into Willie, the 2 of us bumped into you, you bumped into your mother, she's bumping into your dad. None of us knows the steps. And there's no music playing. And it doesn't stop with us. The whole world is doing it all the time. Open up a newspaper. What do you read? America has bumped into Russia. England is bumping into India. Rich man bumps into poor man. Those are big collisions, Hallie. They make for a lot of bruises. And a lot of people get hurt in all that bumping. And we are sick and tired of it. It's been going on for too long. Aren't we ever going to get it right? Learn to dance life like true champions instead of always like a bunch of beginners at it.
You've got a vision, Sam.
It's not just me. What I'm saying to you this afternoon is that everybody has got it. That's why there's only standing room left at the Centenary Hall in 2 weeks' time. For as long as the music lasts, we're going to see 6 couples get it right the way we want life to be.
Is that the best we can hope for? Watch 6 finalists dreaming about the way it should be?
I don't know. But it starts with that. Without the dream, we won't know what we're going for. And I reckon there's a few people who've gone past just dreaming about it and are going for something real. You remember the thing we read in the newspaper once about the Mahatma Gandhi going without food to stop all those riots in India?
Yes. He certainly was trying to get the steps right.
And the Pope. The Pope.
The Pope as well.
Uh-huh.
And our old General Smuts. He's also out there dancing. When you come to think of it, that's what the United Nations boils down to. A dancing school for politicians.
Let's hope they learn.
You're right, Sam. We mustn't despair. Perhaps there is hope for the world after all. Keep it up, Willie. Right, so what have we got so far? Our title, A World Without Collisions.
Hey, that sounds good, eh? A world without collisions. Ah!
Subtitle, Global Politics on the Dance Floor. That's a bit too heavy, eh? What about ballroom dancing as a political vision?
Yeah. Ballroom dancing. St. George's Park Tea Room. Hello, madam. Yes, madam. Ellie, your mom.
Ouch. Forgotten all about that. Shit. Do you remember my words, Sam? Just when you're starting to enjoy yourself, someone will come along and spoil everything.
You haven't heard what she's got to say yet.
Public telephone?
Nope.
She's unhappy or unhappy?
Well, I couldn't tell. Come on, Hattie. She's waiting. Come on.
Hello, Mom. No? No, I'm just finishing my homework. What's your news? You've what? Yes, I'm still here. Oh, well, I give up now, Mom. I just hope you know what you've let us in for. I said I hope you know what you've let us in for. It's the end of the peace and quiet we've been having. Where is he? Well, he can't hear us from in there. But look here, Mom, what happened? I told you to be firm with him. Then you and the nurses should have held him down, taken his crutches away. I know only too well he's my father. I am not being disrespectful, but I am sick and tired of emptying stinking chamber pots filled with phlegm and piss. Yes, I do. When you're not around, he makes me do it. That's why I've got no appetite for my food. Yeah, well, there's a lot of things you don't know about. For instance, I still haven't gotten that science textbook I need because he borrowed the money you gave me for it. I didn't want to start another fight between you two. I says that every time. All right, Mom. Then just remember to start hiding your bag away again, because he will be at your purse before long for money for booze.
Yeah, and when he's well enough to come down here, you'd better start watching the till as well, because that is also going to develop a leak. Well, then don't complain to me when he starts his old tricks again. Yes, you do. I get it from you on one side and from him on the other, and it makes life hell for me. I'm not going to be the peacemaker anymore. When the two of you start fighting again, I'm leaving home. Mom, if you start crying, I'm going to put down the receiver. No. No, because I don't want to. I will speak to him when I get home. No, Mom. Welcome home, chum. What's that? Oh, don't be silly, Dad. You being home is just about the best news in the world. I'm sure it is. It's bloody depressing there with everybody going on about their ailments, eh? How you feeling? Good. Oh, here as well, pal, coming down cats and dogs. Yeah, just a day for a kip and a toast in your old Uncle Ned. Well, everything's just hunky-dory on my side, Dad. To start with, there's a nice pile of comics for you on the counter. Oh, Campbell brought them by. Oh, Batman and Robin, Submariner. Just your cup of tea. I will. Yes, we'll spin a few yarns tonight. See you soon, chum. I promise I'll come straight home. Hello, Mum. I'm just gonna lock up now and come straight home. Oh, yes, the brandy, of course. No, I won't forget. I'll put it in my briefcase now. I know well enough what'll happen if he doesn't get it. Hello. I was kind to him, Mom. No, I didn't say anything nasty. All right, bye.
That sounded like a bad bump, Hallie.
Mind your own business, Sam.
Sorry. I wasn't trying to interfere. Shall we carry on? Hallie?
Tell him about when they give out the cups, but Sam.
Ah, there's another big moment of the evening. The presentation of the cups after the winners have been announced. You got to put it in there, Hallie, eh?
A big silver one, Mr. Halley, called the floating trophy for the champions.
Every year we invite some big shot personality to hand them over. You know why a guest of honor this year is His Holiness the Bishop Jabulani?
So much for a bloody world without collisions, eh?
Too bad. It was on its way to being a good composition.
Let's just stop bullshitting ourselves, Sam.
Have we been doing that?
Yes. But all our talk of a decent world has been just so much bullshit.
We did say it was only still a dream.
And it's a bloody useless one at that. Life's a fuck-up. It's never gonna change.
Yeah, well, maybe that's true.
There's no maybe about it. It's a blunt and brutal fact. All we've done this afternoon is waste our time.
Not if we got your homework done.
I didn't give a shit about my homework, so just shut up about it. Just hurry up and finish your work. I'm gonna lock up and get out of here. Then go where? Oh, sweet fucking home. God, I hate that word. Hello. You know what's wrong with your lovely little dreams, Sam? It's not just that we're all bad dancers. That does happen to be perfectly true. But there's more to it than just that. You left out the cripples. Yeah, I mustn't leave them out, Sam. They're also there dancing, like a bunch of broken spiders trying to do the quick step. When you come to think of it, it's a bloody comical sight. I mean, it's bad enough on two legs. But one leg and a pair of crutches, that's guaranteed to turn your dance floor into a shambles. Why are you shaking your head, man? Picture it. For once this afternoon, let's use our imagination sensibly.
Be careful, Hallie.
Of what, the truth? I seem to be the only one around here who's prepared to face it. We've had our lovely little dream. Now it's time to open our eyes and take a look at the way things really are. There's no music, nobody knows the steps, and the cripples are also out there trying to get into the act. And it's all called the Old Comers How to Make a Fuck Up of Life Championship. Hang on, Sam. The best bit is still coming. You know what the winner's trophy is? It's a big chamber pot, and it's filled to the brim with piss. And guess who I think this year's winner's gonna be?
Stop now.
Why?
Hallie, it's your father you're talking about.
So?
Do you know what you've been saying? No, Hallie. Mustn't do that. Take back those words and ask for forgiveness. It's a terrible sin for a son to mock his father with jokes like that. You'll be punished if you carry it on. Your father is your father, even if he's a crippled man.
Yes, Mr. Hardy. It's true what Sam says.
I understand how you're feeling, but even so...
No, you don't.
I think I do.
And I'm telling you, you don't. Nobody does. It is your turn to be careful, Sam. Very careful. You're treading on dangerous ground. You leave me and my father alone.
I'm not the one who's been saying things about him.
What goes on between me and my father is none of your business.
So don't tell me about it if that's all you've got to say. I don't want to hear it.
Just do your work and shut up.
Well, swearing at me won't help you.
Yes, it does. Mind your own fucking business and shut up.
All right. If that's the way you feel, I'll stop trying.
Good. Because what you have been trying to do is to meddle in something you know nothing about. All that concerns you in here, Sam, is to do what you get paid for. Keep the place clean and serve the customers. In plain words, just do your job. My mother is right. She's always warning me about allowing you to get too familiar. Well, this time you've gone too far. It's going to stop right now. You're only a servant in here, and don't you forget it. As far as my father is concerned, all you need to remember is that he is your boss.
No, he isn't. I get paid by your mother.
Don't argue with me, Sam.
So don't say he's my boss.
He's a white man. That's enough for you.
I'll try and forget you said that.
Don't. You won't be doing me a favor if you do. I'm telling you to remember it.
Come on, Hallie. Let's stop before it's too late. You're right. We are on dangerous ground, and if we're not careful, somebody's going to get hurt.
Well, it won't be me.
Don't be so sure.
Jesus, I wish you would stop telling me what I do and do not know.
Okay.
Don't turn your back on me.
Don't do that, Hallie. All right. I'm listening. Well, what do you want to say to me?
In the first place, why don't you start calling me Master Harold like Willie does?
You mean that?
Yes, why the hell do you think I said it?
And if I don't?
You might just lose your job.
If you make me say that once, I'll never call you anything else again.
That's supposed to be a threat.
No, just letting you know what will happen if you make me do that. You must decide what it means to you.
Well, I have. And it's good news because that is exactly what Master Harold wants from now on. Think of it as a little lesson in respect, Sam. One which is long overdue. I hope you remember that as well as you do your geography. Somebody who will be very glad to know that I have finally given it to you will be my father. He agrees with my mom. He is always telling me, you must teach the boys to show you more respect, my son.
So now you can stop complaining about going home. Everybody's going to be happy tonight.
Yes, that is perfectly correct. You see, you mustn't get the wrong idea about me and my dad, Sam. We also have some good times together as well. Some bloody good laughs. He's got a marvelous sense of humor. Do you want to know what our favorite joke is? He lets out a big groan and he says, "It's not fair, is it, Ali?" And I have to say, "What, chum?" And then he says, "A nigger's ass." And we have a great big laugh. What's the matter, Willie? Don't you catch it? You always were a bit slow on the uptake. It's what's called a pun. You see, fair means both light in color and to be just and decent. I thought at least you would catch it, Sam.
Oh, yeah. I catch it all right.
Doesn't appeal to your sense of humor.
You really laugh
Yes, of course.
to please him? Make him feel good?
No, I laugh because I think it's a bloody good joke.
You're really trying hard to be ugly, aren't you? Anyway, why drag poor old Willie into it? He's done nothing to you except show you the respect you want so badly. It's also not being fair, you know. And I mean just or decent.
It's okay, good Sam. Leave it now.
It's me you're after, isn't it? You should have just said Sam's ass, because that's the one you're trying to kick. Anyway, how do you know it's not fair? You've never seen it. You want to? Have a good look. A real Basuto ass, which is about as nigger as you can come. Satisfied? Now you can make your dad even happier when you go home tonight. Tell him I showed you my ass. And he's quite right. It's not fair. And if it will give him a better laugh next time, I'd also let him look. Come, Willie. Let's finish up and go home.
Sam?
Well, you've done it, Pastor Harold. Yes, I'll start calling you that from now on. It won't be difficult anymore. You have heard yourself, Master Harold. I saw it coming. I warned you, but you wouldn't listen. You've just hurt yourself bad. And you're a coward, Master Harold, because the face you should be spitting in is your father's, but you used mine. Because you think you're safe inside your fair skin. And this time, I don't mean just or decent. Should I hit him, Willie?
No, but Sam,
Why not?
it won't help.
I don't want you to help him. I want to hurt him.
You'll also hurt yourself.
If he did it to you, Willie.
Me? Spit at me like I was a dog. Yeah. Then I want to hit him. I want to hit him hard. But maybe all I do is go cry at the back. He's a little boy, put Sam. A little white boy. Long trousers now. But he's still a little boy.
You're right. Willie. Go on then. Grown again, Willie. You do it better than me. You don't know what you've just done, Master Harold. It's not just that you've made me feel dirtier than I've ever felt in all my life. I mean, how do I wash off yours and your father's filth? I've also failed. A long time ago, I promised myself I was going to try and do something. But you have just shown me, Master Harold, that I failed. I also have the memory of a little white boy still wearing short trousers and a black man. But they're not flying a kite. Back in the old Jubilee days after dinner one night, you came into my room, stood against the wall and just looked down on the ground. It was only after I'd asked you, I don't know how many times, what you wanted, what was wrong, did you speak, and even then so softly, I almost didn't hear you. Sam, please help me to go fetch my dad. Remember? He was dead drunk on the floor of the Central Hotel bar. They had phoned for your mother, but you was the only one home. Do you remember how we did it? You went in first by yourself to ask for permission for me to go into the bar. Then I loaded him onto my back like a baby and carried him back to the old boarding house with you following behind carrying his crutches. A crowded main street with all the people looking at a little white boy following his drunk father on a nigger's back. I felt for that little boy, Master Harold. I felt for him. We still had to clean him up, remember? He had messed in his trousers, so we had to clean him up and get him to bed.
I love him, Sam.
I know you do. That's why I was trying to stop you from saying all these things about him. It could have been so simple if only you despised him for being a weak man, but he's your father. You love him and you're ashamed of him. You're ashamed of so much. And now it's going to include yourself. That's the promise I'd made to myself, to try and stop that from happening. After we got him to bed, you came back with me to my room and just sat on the corner and carried on looking down on the ground. For days after that, you had done nothing wrong, but you went around like you owed the whole world an apology for being alive. I didn't like seeing that. That's no way a boy grows up to be a man. But the one person who should have been teaching you what that means was also the cause of your shame. If you really want to know, that's why I made you that kite. I wanted you to look up, to be proud of something yourself. And you certainly were that when I left you up there on the hill with it. Oh, yeah. Something else. If ever you do write it as a short story, there was a twist in our ending. I couldn't sit there and stay with you. It was a whites-only bench. You were too young, too excited to notice them, but not anymore. And if you're not careful, Master Harold, you'll be sitting out there by yourself for a long time to come, and there won't be a kite in the sky.
It's bad. It's all bad in here now.
Willie, would you please lock up for me and look after the keys?
Okay.
Don't forget the comic books. Stop. Ellie? I have no right in telling you what being a man means if I don't behave like one myself. I'm not doing too well this afternoon. Shall we try again?
Try what?
Fly another kite, I suppose. It worked once. This time I need it as much as you do.
Still raining, Sam. Can't fly kites in rainy days. Remember?
So what do we do? Hope for better weather tomorrow?
I don't know. I don't know anything anymore.
You sure about that, Hallie? Because it would be pretty hopeless if that was true. It would mean nothing has been learned in here this afternoon, and there was a hell of a lot of teaching going on here, one way or the other. Anyway, I don't believe you. I reckon there's one thing you know. You don't have to stay out there by yourself anymore. You know what that bench means now. You can leave it anytime you choose. All what you have to do is to stand up and walk away from it.
Sam, you see, it's going to okay tomorrow. Hey, but Sam, you're right. Think about it, and you are right. Tonight, I find Hilda. Say sorry, and make promise I won't beat her no more. You hear me, Sam?
I hear you, Willie.
And when we practice, I relax and romance with her from beginning to end, non-stop. You watch. 2 weeks' time, first prize for most promising newcomers. Mr. Willie Mulapo and Miss Hilda Samuels. To hell with it. I'll walk home. How did you say it, put Sam? Let's dream.
Little man, you're crying. I know why you're blue. Someone took your kitty car away. I better go to sleep now. Little man, you've had a busy day.
You lead. I'll follow.
Johnny, won your marbles, tell you what we'll do. That'll get you new ones right away. Better go to sleep now, little man. You've had a busy day. You've been playing soldier, the battle has been won. The enemy is out of sight. Come along there, soldier, and put away your gun. The war is over for tonight. Trying to stop your scheming time, your day was through.